How's everybody doing? Um, a lot of you have already seen us today. Um, I'm a lot more sober than I was 3 hours ago.
Me too, unfortunately.
You want to know what's really funny? I think
Huh.
something in my Subway sandwich gave me an allergic reaction. So there's that. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah.
But you know what, Lyric?
That's
We
not
we gotta
important.
get up because it is still big business
Big
day.
naive.
Okay?
Naive, to be exact. Um,
Quite literally.
I am your host, well, one of your hosts, Lyric Swinton. You might know me as Lyric Wrestling. This is Dani, aka Dani Don't Miss, aka the Black Girl Wrestling CEO. Um,
That's true.
Today was a day. I'm still reeling over it. And I don't even know if we can do this as a typical review because this was powerful. Today was powerful. So you know what? I think that what we should do is I think we should go through the actual card and we should save all of the real business for last.
Fine.
And here's the thing: a lot of this stuff we're gonna speed through because I'm gonna be honest, just respectfully. Yeah. So Joe versus Wardlow happened. Um, yeah. Samoa Joe popped me with the promo before. He said tonight feels like money.
It sure
Like
does.
the world champion he is.
It sure does. And I will say I liked the story time with Adam Cole, baby. I was like, that's so simple. Why haven't we done that before? Why haven't we done that before? That's so
And
much
then
better
you
than
can't see
like
that big
wheeling him
ass
out
boot on his
in his
leg.
little wheelchair. Huh?
Mm-hmm. I said, then you won't see that big ass boot on his leg. It was really
I'm
great.
like, just do that. That's clever.
And then we had like Joe versus Wardlow happened. I'm gonna be honest, I was not paying attention to that match at all. I was still reeling.
No, but you know what's cool? It's cool that the men's world title match was the cooler. Because how many times have we had something really awesome happen in the men's division and then they send the women out there while the crowd is tired and whatever? This was the world title and everybody was still sitting up there chanting, CEO, yeah! Yeah! Women's History
And for those of
Month.
you who are just getting here, because a lot of people just getting here, we're just going to save all the stuff with Mercedes, the women's, that's coming last, so hold on, we're going to get there. Next we had the Elite promo. Now I love this. Now this is where the show started again. This is when I was fully like recovered from the opener. And when Matthew, Nicholas, and the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, his full passport
name, correct.
His full passport name. Okada said, tell Matthew happy birthday. I said, sing it. I said, Cash Money Kazu. I ain't gonna lie, that English getting good, my guy.
I said,
I thought that the Bucks were just gonna be his mouthpiece, and they are doing a great job of that.
He said, let me talk for myself.
He said, let me talk there for a minute. I said, Cash Money Kazu.
Talk to him, Big Kazu. Talk to him.
He's talking to him. I'm not gonna lie, that English getting good. He said, sing it. I said,
oh, okay.
Then we had,
and wait, real quick, because you know what it felt like. That TikTok sound that's like, oh, sit down, and it's like nothing's like sit down. I'm sad. That's what it was. I was like, okay, sing it then. And he said, sing it. You better 1, 2, 3. Come on, chorus.
Absolutely. And then we had the extra match. So it was the new Elite, Kazuchika Okada, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson versus Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Pac in his first match back. I would say this was my favorite men's match of the night by far.
Agreed.
Easily. Well, Darby and Jay was really good, but I think this one was just my favorite, personal favorite.
Yeah.
So we had that. This one was, listen, I was originally scared when Okada came to TV wrestling. I didn't know how he was going to adapt. just because very few Okada matches have ever gone less than 20 minutes. But he's fitting this like a glove.
He fits in so well.
It feels like he's been here forever.
Seamless. It's seamless. And I am so excited to see. Well, first off, look, all this match proved to me is that we're going to have to be serious about this trios division. Be so for real, okay? Because I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, why isn't this for the belts? Oh, brother, I know who the belts are on.
But there was a lot of movement in the trios division, a lot of positive movement this week, tonight. That's hopefully a really great sign. But yeah, this match was great. Okada hits the Rainmaker, gets the pin. I have no notes. This was awesome. I think I might actually rewatch that match.
Pac,
it was fun.
It was so good to see Pac. Pac, whatever. So good to see him back. He's one of the best in the world, and we sometimes forget because he'd be here and then he's gone and then whatever. But in the ring, bell to bell, one of the best on the planet. And I'm so excited and a little bit nervous to see what they're gonna do with him, because I feel like everything else, like, we have the direction for everybody else pretty much in that match. Like, obviously we're going to do Okada and Eddie. The Bucks are entering the tournament, whatever. What are they going to do with Pac?
Pac is, I feel like he's the male version of Riho. He comes in, he does his little shit. He reminds you he's the best in the world. Then he goes home, but he lives out of town. He lives out in the country. So, and a lot of times, it's easy to forget that he's really like that,
Yeah.
But it was so good to see him. That match was a hoot. Next, we had the teaser for Christian versus Copeland next week, which I'm super excited about. That's going to be their third match for the TNT title, so that's going to be exciting. Then we had another live Will Ospreay promo. I'm gonna be honest, this wasn't much different from the one from last week. But the last one, but I don't care. I love hearing Will Ospreay talk.
I love Will Ospreay. First of all, I tweeted it, but I was sitting up there. I was like, there got to be a Google Translate or something, because as soon as they said Ospreay's up next, I said, well, what? Captions don't help. The captions don't know.
Listen, Ospreay speaks in hieroglyphics.
I love him down. I got no idea what that little bitch is saying, but I love him down. And he came out in the most British looking fit ever. As if we had any doubt where that bro was from. But nah, Ospreay promo. He's absolutely like, he's got it. He's sitting up there talking about I am the feeling. You felt like it? I don't know. You
talk to him. Wake it out.
Everything he said in that promo was one, true, but also like, just, you don't even have to do anything for Ospreay to be, him. He come out there. Everybody want to do the thing with him. Everybody wants to see whatever he's gonna do. Also, he been looking real fine lately. I don't know. Maybe it was like getting in the ring with Takeshita and it's like contagious, but I'm like,
somebody said the sweats tucked into the socks are atrocious, but it's okay. He can still.
Oh, why did he do that?
Everybody knows that the real hoopers are the guys who used to wear Nike Elite socks with the Sperry's, okay? After church.
True. Look, you can't be good at everything. Ospreay's great on the mic. He's fantastic in the ring. He doesn't have time to go look in the closet. He doesn't have time for that, okay?
He literally is wearing, he has a black, what is it called? What is that place called? Blacksmith Apparel. He has a blacksmith tracksuit literally for every occasion, and I gotta respect it.
Hey, you know what? I won't sit up here and talk about nobody's style because he's on my Rob list. And so I saw the contract estimates of so Mercedes, Ospreay, yeah. So whatever he got, if he's willing to share, I'll take it. But look, Ospreay came out, he cut that promo. He is the most like maybe believable person on the roster because you know he's going to give you a 10 out of 10 match. So whatever he says, you're like, I'm excited for it. I don't care. And him versus Danielson, it just makes the most sense. He says, yeah, the best ever versus the best of the 21st century. And I my heart always sings a little bit for Kenny Omega, but in moments like that, whenever we're like, oh, best in the world, I'm like,
but you know what though? The thing about Kenny Omega is that none of this is possible without him. Like, there is no Danielson.
How do we always bring the conversation?
Listen, Danielson doesn't come to AEW without Kenny Omega.
True.
Ospreay does not come to AEW without Kenny Omega. Ospreay doesn't become that big in New Japan.
True.
Without Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega is the catalyst for all of this. So, you know, he is a part of it. Even when he's not, he is.
Yeah.
Wake it up.
Wake it up.
And also I love how simple this build is. Just like, I'm the best. I think I'm the best. You want to fight about it? Cool.
But it's like both of you guys have a claim to that, because sometimes I'll be saying that and I'm like, well, neither one of you are the best.
The thing is, this is like, I love how in AEW there's at least about 4 or 5 stretch, maybe 6 guys who could say that. Who can say that they're legitimately the best in the world.
Yeah.
And I love that they are not afraid to let them prove it.
Mm-hmm.
But that was great. Thank you, Billy Goat. Then we had Darby versus Jay White. Darby Allin. Now you do some crazy shit, my guy. And I keep thinking, and after Revolution, I said, well, this is the craziest shit we'll ever see him do. And then you proceed to find a way to do even crazier bumps, my guy.
Darby Allin. Okay. First of all, I want to say, okay, I was going to say woman to woman, but that doesn't apply. But Darby Allin, all right, homie to homie. I'm worried about you, dog, okay? So many reasons. I'm going to start with the first one. Don't get your ass over to Everest. Please, you're too little. I'm so sorry.
I'm not going to lie. It's not even the fact that he's too little. It's just like, you going to climb Everest in this shape? In this shape?
You see what he just did to you? But the second of all, right? I don't care who you work for, okay? There's no way your health insurance is that good. There's just no way. What you be doing to your body, I swear to God, I know the niggas at the hospital said, oh, people at the hospital.
Ooh, there it is.
I'm trying so hard. It's hard.
But you know what, though? This also, I hate to say it, but this match tonight, it almost gave me kind of comfort with him going to Everest, because I was like, you know what? Maybe this little motherfucker can survive anything.
maybe he's tougher than I give him credit for.
Somebody said compared to the shit he's doing, Everest should be afraid of him. Dead ass. Like, that's what I definitely walked away from that match saying,
no, I walked away from that match being like, if that man gets up there, he's gonna jump.
I said, is this mountain ready for him?
No.
Jay White looked great, but I will say, and I tweeted this, Darby Allin is the best seller in professional wrestling.
Agreed.
Nobody from any company, argue with your mama, can sell better and can make their opponents look better in the ring than Darby Allin. And maybe nobody should, because nobody should be willing to do the shit that he's willing to do. But at the same time, he is the hands down best seller in professional wrestling.
Absolutely.
He might be better than Jeff Hardy back in the day. And I'm saying that was like, with all due respect, like as somebody who was a real Jeff Hardy lover back in the day. But like, nah, he takes it to a whole different level.
He do. And you know, that bump where he tried to coffin drop and he hit the apron.
Oh.
And the problem I have with Darby, it's not even a problem because I enjoy it. I think it's what makes him unique is the speed at which he does everything. Lots of people throw themselves into things, but they have a little bit of, they're a little bit reserved about it. Darby Allin will go full throttle all the time, every move, every bump. And that's why I think there's that extra added element where we perceive it as so much more dangerous. He's doing the same thing. He's just not letting up a lot of the times. So like even that bump where he went, I don't know if he went over like the staircase, like around the staircase, and into the barricade. Everybody goes into the barricade, not the way Darby do, I'm
Somebody
worried.
said Darby or Athena who got the best suicide dive? Darby. Because Darby puts the suicide in suicide.
I was gonna say because I be sitting there like Darby gonna die.
I've never don't get me wrong, Athena shit is great. Y'all know how on go I am about Athena, but I've never been scared that Athena was dead.
Look, if you've ever watched Darby Allin, you ever watched a Darby Allin match, there has been a moment in which whether you are religious or not, in which you say, God, please look after him. He gonna do something that's gonna make you say, "Oh my God."
Revolution was crazy because, like when you're there in person, you get to see everything, so you don't just see what the camera sees. Because I've watched the match back like twice, and I see once Darby did the dive, the camera was almost exclusively on Sting and the Bucks after that, right? But like for the people in the arena, you could literally see like all this equipment being used to like wrap Darby up and him literally just staying comatose for 20 minutes in a puddle of his own blood and glass. That's it.
Like y'all not doing it like him. And nobody should, I would argue.
Nobody should. This is not the time. Hey, listen, that's one man you will never want to go bar for bar with. You will lose.
No. Darby the type of man is like, well, I'll kill us both. If that's what it comes down to. I just whatever, He don't care.
Then I'll do myself. But thanks, Darby. Jay
Best
White
of luck to you.
Here, he after Darby manages to barely get back in the ring, right before the 10 count, and then Switchblade hits the Blade Runner, and picks up a really great win. Then they start doing Bullet Club Gold does the post-match beatdown. Then the Acclaim comes out. And then finally, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang is no more. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. And honestly, Max Caster, you really ruined it for everybody. I feel like we were all having a little bit of fun, but you really ruined it for everyone. And so now it has to be over. And honestly, to this point, I kind of hope the Acclaimed is over too, because it's time for everybody to be free of you. But the Bullet Club Gold, they attacked Daddy Ass, and then basically they attacked the Acclaim. Bullet Club Gold is back being their own entity. Let us all rejoice and be glad in it. Go ahead.
Max Caster is a prime example of why men should shut the fuck up.
Yes.
I
had to block him this week.
Oh my God. Look, you had a good thing going, and I will argue that this has been ongoing, but for whatever reason, you just been on one this week, bro. You have a good thing going. You are over some of the most important, some of the most charismatic baby faces on TV. Shut up. Shut up. Why are you arguing with people on Twitter? Why are you saying crazy stuff talking about, Sammy Guevara is a great guy today? It
wasn't even just that. Like, he's just been saying the most
all of it. Like the most
just like this far right stuff. And it's just like, okay, but like you just want attention. And the thing is, like, your tag team partner is literally one of the most revolutionary people in wrestling right now, and has broken down so many barriers and is so
shout out Anthony.
Shout out to Anthony Bowens. Even Daddy Ass, like, shout out to Billy Gunn. Like, I have no problems with Billy Gunn. You are constantly given opportunities and TV time, even when you say the craziest shit with these not funny jokes. You keep getting forgiven. And I understand that his dad passed away recently, but he was actually acting like a piece of shit before that. And I'm kind of really sad because I was a huge Acclaimed fan. Like, I have Acclaimed socks. I actually have Acclaimed scissors. I legitimate. Is this the one with the scissors in it? I'm an All Elite Crank subscriber. So, yes.
Man,
I have
doing everything. Like, having fun.
We can't even have fun.
We were having fun. We
were having so much fun, and you ruined it. And so I'm really glad that Jay White is out of there. This is for the crowd that was like, Jay White is buried. Clearly, no, he's not. Everybody be cool. Yes.
And go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, like the Acclaimed for the longest, I think that they were the shining example of AEW's best example of homegrown talent. And it's just really sad that one man just can't shut the fuck up. But that's men for you, not being able to shut the fuck up.
Because look, you messing with the money, dude. You messing with the money. Because had you just shut up, you could have genuinely, like, the Acclaimed have been over for so long. You weren't gonna stop being over, you know? You, like, I just don't understand. And you know what? Look, let this be a lesson, right? You can...
Breaking up a little bit. Somebody said Max Caster stop tweeting and just pay Dani's bills instead. Thanks. You know what? I think that's a good. I'm gonna put this up there for when she unfreezes so she can read that. I think another thing about the Acclaim that really bothers me right now is that somebody said the Acclaim had nothing but bad matches for all of 2023. Yes, and why were those matches bad? The weaker one in the ring is Max Caster, because Anthony Bowens is a beast, and every time he wrestles, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is great. Like, he should probably be due for a singles push at some point. But Caster is the weaker one, and being loud, like, you can't be loud and wrong. You know, like, it doesn't work like that. I think Dani's gonna leave and come back, but I'm just really frustrated. As somebody who was a big Acclaim fan, I'm just really frustrated. But I am glad that the split happened tonight. So hopefully that unification match is coming soon, or just a title match period is coming soon. Who knows? But we move. What was next? We had the Deonna Purrazzo promo. So Deonna, basically, she was like, okay, Tony and Mariah, you want to play the numbers game? Well, I can play that too. I'm going to have a partner of my own. I'm going to challenge you for next week, essentially, with a partner. And she said that, obviously, Tony and Mariah, they have a tag match this week on Rampage. And so she said that her and her partner will be watching. Some are speculating that it is going to be the dentist is going to be Deonna's partner. I left this comment up for you, Dani. Somebody said Max Caster stopped tweeting and just paid Dani's bills instead. Thanks.
That's what.
No,
oh
the
my
people.
God.
The people.
I firmly believe. The people's princess. I firmly believe that there is some nasty, nasty work going on, okay, that is here to prevent me from succeeding. But Chris Jericho, okay, Max Caster.
Listen, she said their names and literally started freezing again. Maybe there is some voodoo.
No, I'm literally not. I'm literally not. This is racist. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You can't hear me.
Yes.
Yeah. So I know I missed a few moments. I want to circle back to Max Caster because my internet will not free you from catching strays. All right. Look, actually, it ain't even a stray. Person, hold the target. Look. Tell me, you know that one video? I think it's from Real Housewives. That's like, what do you do successfully? Tell me what you think that you are the best at, okay? Because you're not the best rapping wrestler. You're not the best wrestler in your group, all right? You're not the most over.
That's
You're
what
not
I
the
was
most
saying.
fun. What are you? What are you?
Exactly.
Go, girl, give us nothing.
Just loud.
So you real loud for somebody that should be having an identity crisis.
Absolutely.
That's all.
I agree. But yes, I was just saying that Deanna was basically saying that she has a partner for next week. It's probably going to be DMD. Toronto, I think we're going to see some returns. There's that. Somebody says, I hope Mercedes Mone doesn't become irrelevant at AEW in 6 months. AEW women's division and the AEW roster as a whole pretty bloated. Do you actually watch AEW? Seriously, like I really would like to know, like, because what big star has become irrelevant in 6 months? I just want to know, like, who? Please tell me.
And look,
every woman that has been pushed in the women's division this year is still relevant. Deonna Purrazzo was on TV this week, today. Toni Storm on TV today. The first ever women's world champion in AEW history in 2019 on TV. Main event today. We saw Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue today. So I would like to know, who are you talking about? I would like to know, do you actually watch AEW? Because a lot of people online are saying this, well, I hope she doesn't become irrelevant in 6 months. Do y'all watch this show?
Hello?
You don't clearly watch. Because, and it's okay if you don't. But just be honest about it. You just made that up.
You just made that up. And here, look, right? Because I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm, AEW down. AEW can do no wrong as a company. I'm not one of those people. Lyric isn't one of those people. When they do things that are wrong and when they do things that suck, we will say that, okay?
We hold them accountable.
We're not on the payroll. We're not on the payroll. I will sell out. I have a number, but we're not on the payroll.
Should be.
Okay, but you just can't be talking about stuff to the point where I want to clarify. To the point where we're not AEW shows. Like, I have Tony Khan blocked. I don't want to hear what that man has to say. Billionaires have no business speaking to me unless it's to give me some damn money. But all that to say, right? That's just not an argument that can be backed up with any evidence, right? Like, because if you're thinking about real top tier stars, both divisions, all right, who has come in here and truly lost their way? Because the best will continue to be the best, especially in an environment where you have to face other people that are amazing constantly, and you have to bring it. And those people continue to excel. They always have. They have the space to do that here. I just don't understand that argument. Like, I think that's one of the things that people continue to go back to when they just don't like AEW, which is cool. Nobody's telling you have to watch it. Like, shut up. Go get a job. But, like, that one, I don't hear you, bruh. I don't hear that one.
And I would like to say, you know what? I'll wait till I get. No, I'll say it now. Fuck it. I understand it is the booking of AEW. Where is Jay Lethal, Scorpio Sky? Jay Lethal? Scorpio Sky?
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm sorry.
What did you say?
Guys. Okay. Guys. This is no disrespect to the performers who were named. Okay, you're great people, and I'm sure you're great at your jobs. You're much better at your jobs than I am at mine. I promise you. With that being said,
I'm gonna say this though. I'm glad that if Jay Lethal got one fan, it's you. If he got one fan, it's you. If Scorpio Sky got one fan, it's you. It's you. You holding it down. Oh, one of y'all, you holding it down. You standing up for your people, and I respect that. And also, Jay Lethal was on Collision last week, Tommy.
I'm sorry.
Collision last week. What are you saying?
No, literally on Saturday.
Mark Briscoe is a jobber?
Guys.
Shut up. Getting you up out of here.
Because look.
You're going to come out, bud.
Y'all just be talking.
Just be yapping.
Because ain't no way you just sat up here in our stream and dead ass talk about some why is it Jay Lethal world champion?
Ooh.
Where's Scorpio Sky?
I was not expecting that, bro. I was not expecting.
You could have said anybody on the roster.
You could have said anybody.
and I would have been surprised, but I was not expecting to hear those names. That's for damn sure.
Oh my God. Ooh, okay. My fault, y'all. Jesus Christ. Ooh, jeez.
You know who look, I'll give you guys some counter arguments even. You could have said somebody like Copeland, right? You could have said somebody like who, but now there's the counter argument is
he's on TV last week too.
He's next week. But but to sit here and look me dead in my face, say Scorpio Sky
and Jay Lethal. Y'all, I would like to say this. If you're not a usual AEW fan, AEW has a rotating roster. So everybody, you might not see everybody every week. You'll probably see them every other week. Sometimes, people are rotated out. There's 5 hours of television across Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision. So Dynamite and Rampage are on the same taping schedule, and Collision and Ring of Honor are on the same taping schedule. Yeah, it's a rotating roster. It's a lot of people. But just because somebody may not be wrestling every week doesn't mean they're buried. I think Copeland is a great example. Christian Cage is a great example.
Yeah.
They're on TV just about every other week. And it's totally fine. Whew. Said Jay Lethal and Scorpio Sky, bro. That was funny. Oh, good God. Next, we're just gonna skip through this match, but Hook and Jericho versus Gates of Agony, that totally happened.
Can you see? The whole time you talk about this match, I'm just going.
I would like to say my favorite part of the match is when Hook hit the T-bone on Toa Leona. That popped me. Hook, I love it when you do 300-pounder things. I love it. I love that you don't know that you're small. I love it. It pops me infinitely. Somebody said the three-way between Hook and Gates of Agony was honestly really fine. Yes, exactly. I like that. Let's think. I like that.
Hook is,
Hook and wrestled a handicap match. I like that.
Because Hook, don't look in his eyes. He can sense fear. Okay, I'm sending a rescue team. They're gonna be there immediately. All you gotta do is look the other way and please hold on to hope, because we gonna get you out of there.
Also, it was announced that next week Hook will wrestle Jericho, and this is my hope that this means this shit is gonna wrap up quickly. So I hope that next week is the end. Obviously, they had to get Jericho on the card because next week they're in Toronto, Canada. So I'm going to be hopeful that this is the end. Moving on. I try to make that as short as
welcome back.
Thank you. Next, this is the last of the men's business. We had Kyle O'Reilly drop a promo, and it was announced that this weekend on Collision, it's going to be Kyle O'Reilly in his first match in 2 years versus the bounty hunter Ryan Keith.
BK. Okay.
I am so excited.
Let me say this first of all, because Kyle O'Reilly, I feel like protective over him in a way that like is it's like insane, because I'm looking at him and I'm like, that man is at least 15 years older than me, at least. But I'm like, no, please, I'll take care of it. Don't go out there. I'm scared. But I'm so, and I have like the pride of like a mother that would like watching him cut promos, like coming back. I'm like, you've done it, son.
He's like the most adorable puppy. It's like,
I love him so much.
Somebody tweeted this, I forgot. They said, Kyle O'Reilly, I'm obsessed with you, but not in a sexual way. It's like an old friend, just like, I just think that you are the most adorable thing. And I
like Kyle O'Reilly is here.
I'm just super excited. I'm just excited. Kyle, as I've said before, Kyle O'Reilly is the only exception to grab that tag rope. If he does not want to grab that tag rope, he doesn't have to.
He can do whatever you want, Buki. Kyle O'Reilly, you live your
absolutely.
And we'll be sitting here supporting you right here. All right. You got allies on this side.
Absolutely. So for the men's business, next week we have Hook versus Jericho. We have Copeland versus Cage for the TNT Championship. We have, what else? There's another match that was announced, right? Oh, we have Eddie Kingston versus Kazuchika Okada.
Which I for sure thought was going to be on the pay-per-view.
I just knew that was going to be on Dynasty, so that means that whatever the Dynasty match is going to be is fucking nuts. Okada versus Eddie Kingston for the AEW Continental Championship next week. Also, this week on Rampage, Bracketology will be released for the AEW Tag Team Championship Tournament. So the brackets are coming out on Friday, which is super exciting. And it's also
fingers crossed for the Kingdom.
I'm interested to see who's in it because the Workhorsemen were supposed to be in it, but Anthony Henry was recently injured. So that's at least one slot that's just now become available.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope Private Party wins it.
Shots. What we want. Shots. What we need. Shots. What we want. Yes. So shout out to the. I would also like to say shout out to the Blacks. Respectfully, like there's a lot of Black teams in this tournament. Top Flight, Private Party, Infantry. I can see Shane Taylor Promotions getting in there too.
Yep.
Shout out to the Blacks, man. Like this is diversity. This is diversity. Yeah.
I'm gonna need some Black people to win this tournament. I don't even particularly care who, but look, somebody got to hold it down for me, okay?
At least got to make it to the finals.
Come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't be upset. I would not be upset if the Bucks won the tournament. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, I forgot FTR is in it.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all. If FTR wins this tournament, the person that I would become.
I thought he was going to jail. Where's the justice?
Y'all better call that man parole officer. Anywho, but that's currently on the lineup. And also, as you said, Mariah May and Tony Storm are going to be in tag team action. But getting into women's business, obviously tonight was big business. The biggest business. And, you know, we were all here for a reason in Boston with the money signs. And that was, you know, for this.
If you want to know what a motherfucking boss looks like, bitch, you looking at one. A big bitch boss that handles big business.
Exactly. Tonight was the highly anticipated debut of the one, the only Mercedes Mone. And I literally teared up. I genuinely teared up. And you know, the thing is, if for those of you who came to our pre-show earlier, we were so hyped and we were so energetic and we were drunk.
True.
Drunk. But I was so happy. Like, I've been watching wrestling since I was in second grade. And I have never seen any woman, let alone a Black woman, be celebrated, presented in this way. And for somebody like Mercedes, who has influenced me to even be doing something like this, as far as like talking about wrestling to other people outside of my echo chamber in my brain, it was a really surreal experience. And I'm not gonna lie, I fuck with the new theme. And the reason why I fuck with it is because, how do I say it? That theme is gonna go platinum in a stadium. That CEO. It's gonna go platinum in a stadium.
Look. I'm gonna let the theme slide for today. And I do like the chant. The song is ass. I do like the chant.
I think you just gotta
we gonna have to get in the lab. We're gonna have to get in the studio. Something.
You know
something.
what?
That doesn't work for me, brother.
I'm happy with her doing the Jon Moxley thing. I think she should have a AEW theme, and she'll have her New Japan theme.
Okay.
You know, like how Mox has Wild Thing and Death Rider.
I'll take it, I guess. I don't like this though. But you know what?
You all be reviewing TNA wrestling. Well, somebody on BodySlam reviews TNA, but that's not us. We do Dynamite. We review the Dynamite book every week.
Yeah, but
we're for different things.
But we're glad that you love us and want more of us, because who wouldn't?
Exactly. You know what? People have been asking us to do more stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, it sounds fun, but we're gonna have to start getting paid soon.
Hey man,
we are kind of hilarious.
I'm not gonna lie. Look, I have listened to other wrestling people, and I think we should take them.
The most interesting people and funniest people who do this wrestling shit, 9 times out of 10 are not getting paid, and that's absurd.
True. And if this were the pre-show and I was more drunk, I would name names. But back to Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get corny for a second about Mercedes, because yes, everything that you just said, yes, absolutely. And I echo all of that. Obviously, as a Black woman myself, what I will say is there is nobody in the industry quite like her. There's just not, And we sit here and we try to do all these comparisons. So lots of comparisons about this debut compared to like CM Punk's first dance. It's just, first of all, it's different. These things are different. That's fine. Let everything be different. Like, not everything's the same. Shut up. But like, she has all of the aura of all of your faves combined, because she just, and I will say, like, it is so good to see somebody who has bet on themselves, who has been villainized and, dragged through the mud, and, as soon as she doesn't do what people want her to do, she's all of a sudden, she's the worst, she's whatever, she's this, that, and the third. And for her to have that moment, first of all, but also the knowledge that, like, this is the new reality for her, because she was not getting paid the way that she needed to be getting paid. She was not being treated like the absolute star that she is, and that's not even a knock on whatever. That's not even like tribalism. That's not even whatever. Like, shut up. It's just like to finally see somebody get the recognition that matches their level of talent.
Absolutely.
It's just astounding. Yeah.
Somebody said, I love how instead of saying the usual, I'm going to elevate this division, she said the girls are amazing and she can't wait to wrestle all of them. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She came in as a team player, which I think is so important and so real.
And rare.
And rare. She came in as a team player, and I love it. I love the look. I love the wig, honey. The wig, honey. Hallelujah, the wig, honey. The jacket, the
bob,
outfit, the boots. Come on, boots. Come on, boots.
The gear that she came out to make the save in, girl, nasty. That's worth half a billy. Come on.
Nasty. Come on. Nasty.
Oh,
woo, girl.
We also got to talk about the match. We have not done that.
Well, before we get there.
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to say that I'm really happy, one, that she announced that the women would be main eventing tonight. I love that she highlighted her history with Willow. And also, I love that. There's a couple of things I love. I loved how Bailey and Trinity and Tamina was up in the rafters. Incognito.
The TikTok. Nobody's going to know. They're going to know.
They're just such examples. I want a support system like that. And I think everybody deserves a support system like that. And that is what friendship and sisterhood should be like, above any type of tribalism, any type of company. Like, what they have done for each other, they have shown up for each other in different countries, different companies, TNA, WWE, New Japan, AEW. This is all so authentic, and I think that's awesome. And what I love the presentation too, just because I'm gonna be honest, a lot of WWE fans, y'all be like, well, she needs to get on back on the big stage. And the presentation, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes you don't need a floor to ceiling LED boards. Them LED lights be having y'all just y'all be so you can't.
It's like they're hypnotized. That's what it is.
You're hypnotized. It's like, in Incredibles 2 when they had them goggles on.
That's exactly.
You're hypnotized by them LED lights. And I know AEW has a lot of LED, but it's not as distracting. Like, y'all see that floor to ceiling LED board, and y'all can't help yourselves.
And look, you can have all the lights, the pyro, the LEDs in the world. A star will be a star without that stuff.
Clock it. And let me tell you something. I would rather have the tunnels and the 5-star matches than this floor to ceiling LED presentation and 2-minute matches. It's just a different type of wrestling quality in AEW, whether people want to admit it or not. it's the type of wrestling quality where, guess what? It's not just going to be a pay-per-view match where you can make history. TV wrestling matters. TV wrestling matters in AEW, and that's the difference. Like, every match is an opportunity, not just pay-per-views, not just WrestleMania.
That's a great point. And look, I watch WWE occasionally. I think the Bloodline is fun. My family thinks it's fun. We watch it sometimes. It's not my preferred, like, way to watch wrestling, but and watching somebody go from one company to the other is really where I see the most stark differences, because watching Mercedes, leave WWE and now make her debut over here in AEW, it's just like, yeah, those things immediately come to mind where you're like, I can't wait to see her wrestle blank. Not, I can't wait to see her promo battle, XYZ, or I can't wait to see what she says to, this person, or, I can't wait to see her get in the ring, with Serena Deeb, with Willow again, with Riho, with, yeah. And so, even those expectations are different. And if you liked Mercedes or Sasha Banks in WWE and you don't think that this sort of AEW presentation is for you, even though it's the same person that's going to be doing the same wrestling, whatever, fine.
Probably better wrestling.
But better wrestling. 100%
better wrestling.
Better wrestling. But if it makes that much of a difference to you, like the presentation and this, that, and the third, and the ticket sales and this, that, whatever, just don't watch. But this is going to be an absolutely generational run. Like we said, she has already made history in having this moment and finally being, a woman that's being treated like the main event, the star, like they did the world title match, right after. Like, they didn't main event, the girls main evented that, and I don't think that would have been happening if we didn't have somebody like her who's now, in this position. So, yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't want to see Mercedes in AEW, fine, but shut up about it.
I think also women get so pigeonholed in wrestling. And I think some people lean into it. And I think in WWE is easy to lean into it as far as people will get invested in the look, right? Like, for example, and this is no shade, everybody has their own entry points, but there's a lot of people that started loving wrestling or loving WWE because of Total Divas and stuff, right? And so people will be invested. You'll see a person and be like, oh, I'm a stan account because I've seen this girl one time. I liked what she was wearing. I loved how she wore her hair. I don't actually care if she can wrestle or not. Oh, she's such a vibe. That's so mother. Oh my gosh. She's everything. And you know what? That's great. But at that point, there's no difference between an influencer and a wrestler. And here's the thing, I understand Mercedes elevated the game a lot in wrestling. She made everybody, specifically women, start caring more about their hair, start caring more about their fashion, what they wore, especially in the pandemic era. She became the it girl that everything she did, everything she wore was must see. But she did that while also being the best wrestler in the world. And people forget that of just, you can't just have one, or it has to be a mix of both. Real aura lies at the intersection of talent and presentation.
Come on, you are.
There's a lot of people who people claim that have aura who only have killer presentation. Anybody can slap on a good wig if you got the money.
I was gonna say, not
anybody can get somebody to design them a great gear and cool outfits. But that talent has to match up for it to truly be aura. Aura.
Ring
and that's what separates from the great. That's what separates the real from the pretenders. And Mercedes has always sat at that intersection of talent and presentation. And this was just proof of that. And yes, sometimes as women, yes, you have to pull people in with the presentation, but you keep people invested with the talent. And she's flat out said for her to be in this stage of her career, she needs to be in AEW for this revolution. Because let's just be real, there's a whole generation of wrestling fans who don't actually like wrestling. And if anybody can help change that and change that narrative, it's her.
You know what?
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, well, I'm actually going to write something about this for Black Girl Wrestling, but the difference between the way that you kind of touched on it a little bit, but the way that we discuss women and men's wrestling is so stark, but specifically in reference to like appearance. Okay. People get so caught up on the visuals and like you said, and on the presentation and this, that, and the third, and what they're wearing, and okay, period, like her body tea, whatever, that becomes the only point of conversation if you let it be,
Absolutely. 100%.
Versus like I don't know what example can I get? Look, my crush on Takeshita, we could talk about how Takeshita looked fine, and he's also one of the best in the world. And I just hope that in having Mercedes in AEW, we can finally start to talk about that aspect of her, because
100%.
People cannot, for whatever reason, be normal about women, about women's wrestling, and about, whatever, like, and I'm really excited to see her in an environment where everybody hoops, and the matches are gonna hit. And this is the last thing that I'll say specifically about this, right? Like, Mercedes has the world is her oyster. It truly is. And all of the possibilities that exist now with her in AEW and all the different partnerships that they have and all of the different matches that she can have, like, if you are a true or were a true Sasha Banks fan or whatever, you would be happy that she's happy. And Absolutely. If you truly like cannot be, then you were more interested in other things rather than her.
Yes, exactly. And I think also that's one thing that I just truly love about AEW. I think that it's not even just her, like all the top people, you got to have both. And I feel like in other companies, you can be good at one thing, right? You can be good at one thing. You could be an elite talker, or you can be an elite worker, or not even that half the time. Or you could be really attractive. And look at the top guys. Ospreay is an incredible wrestler, and also his presentation is top notch. His entrances are creative. His gears are expensive. Kenny Omega is the exact same.
And that music hits.
Exactly. Kenny Omega is the exact same. Top tier presentation. And I feel that he is one of those people. His presentation moved the rest of the industry, a lot of his peers, to start caring more about theirs. Agreed. The Young Bucks, big presentation guys. Also the best tag team in the world. Okada, big presentation guy. One of the best wrestlers in the world. Bryan Danielson might be the only person that's not over the top presentation, but he's also an elite talker and he's an elite worker. And even his presentation with the BCC, it works. Jon Moxley, his presentation at AEW is very strategic, coming through the crowd the way that he does. Very elite work, elite talker. Everybody, you can't just be one thing. You have to be the total package. Look at Swerve. Swerve is a good talker. Swerve is a great wrestler. And his presentation is fantastic. You have
top
to
tier.
All three. AEW is the place where you have to have all three. And I think that's what makes it special. Because when everybody can talk and when everybody looks like a megastar, the only way that you can differentiate yourself is through wrestling.
Ring the bell. Yep.
Ring the bell. That's it.
Ring the freaking bell.
Somebody said if Swerve isn't champion before the end of this year, I'm starting a riot. He's going to be champion next month.
Let's storm the Capitol.
Okay.
Jericho core.
So, before the main event, we had Riho in the back, chilling. Am I echoing? Hello? Okay. Hello?
That's so sad.
I think I was
MLK. That's funny.
MLK speech filling.
I hear you one time. I don't know.
Okay. So we had Riho in the back getting ready, and Mercedes said hi. And Mercedes, and you know what? The fact that Mercedes felt the need to introduce herself to Big Riho,
yeah,
that meant something. Because exactly,
you know,
I don't care who you are. This is Big Riho.
Exactly. So it's like you know when you go to like stay over at somebody's house when you were little, you better introduce yourself to the parents. You're not just walking in nobody's house and talking about some, you know, oh, let's get straight to it. No.
It's a clear pecking order in here.
Whose house is this? And yes, it Swerves, but it's also Big Riho's.
Exactly.
The first.
The biggest.
So pay your respects. And she did.
The biggest. Exactly. She said she's going to be watching. Big Riho said, she don't even make no noise. She said, this match, one, I'm very proud that Willow and Riho represented the division on the night where all eyes were on this division.
Me too. Oof.
And two, everybody looked great. But let me say, Big Riho, midway through that match, she turned into Manami Toyota. Girl, I knew you could hoop, but damn, she said, I gotta remind y'all, I'm the first.
I love her down. Riho is just so, because look, when Mercedes was standing next to her, and y'all know Mercedes isn't, you know, not known for her size. Mercedes stood next to her and made Riho look tiny. I said, oh my God.
Exactly.
Wow. But Riho went out there and she said, what you're not gonna do is play. What we're not gonna do is play about me. Look, she is, like you said, she come in, she have a hit, and she go home. And she never loses any of the, you know, the allure. She's always someone that feels like they deserve to be in the title picture. And like you said, in a moment where everybody was going to be looking at the women's division, I don't know who better right now than Riho and Willow to really have spotlight on. Yeah, man. And Willow looked, there were definitely some moments in this match where I was like, okay, Willow might be a little like overselling, trying to overcompensate for the size difference. But they definitely, I feel like, found the chemistry and the rhythm, like you said, towards the middle of the match. Yes. And it just picked up, and it was absolutely amazing after that. But there was something that I noticed. My sister even pointed it out. She was like, okay, you have to sell believably from Riho, you know. And there were some moments, like I think Riho went to drop kick her, and Willow was like spinning around and whatever. But you know, like I said, at the end of the day, they found it. They were hitting. The last 5 or 6 minutes of that match were peak what we're trying to see in that division. Yeah.
That I will say, Willow pounced Riho out of the ring. Riho, she was hitting them. She hit everything. I said, oh my God. Somebody said it took 2 freaking years for the women to main event. That's not true. It has not been 2 years for the women to main event Dynamite. The women
I will say
that
it don't feel right.
reign. They main evented twice during Sheeta's last reign.
Yeah.
Twice. And that was what? That was either October or November. Because when she won the title and when she faced Anna Jay for the title. That's not true. It has not been 2 years. It hasn't even been a full 6 months.
But still, I will say the point remains that that should not be the standard. That should not be the norm. And now that Mercedes is here, I genuinely do not believe that will be the case. I don't think there will ever be another 6 months where there's no Dynamite main event for the women. Yes. So I don't know if your numbers are right, but I hear what you're saying, you know.
Absolutely.
But with that,
it still stands.
Yeah. But with that being said, you know, like, I was really nervous at the end of this match because I was like, okay, Julia finna come out here, and I was like, Mercedes gonna make the save. I don't want Mercedes nowhere near the TBS title picture. But then, you know, she turns around, it's her and Willow, and I was like, okay, that we could do, that we can get into. But I said, Julia, you gonna have to. It's real hoopers tonight.
Julia about to come up off that belt.
She gonna have to.
Julia about to come up off that belt.
People look.
Will TK stretch her debut to Dynamite? Her in-ring debut? I don't know. He could.
That's kind of a long time.
If she's gonna be on TV every week, because she's gonna be on Dynamite next week. They've already announced her for next week.
Yeah.
I don't see her too. And honestly, I think you use her to boost some of your Collision numbers.
Oh, absolutely.
I would put her in-ring debut on Collision.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah. Dynasty's not till April 21st. That's a long
honestly,
time.
You gotta think. They have a big Collision coming up. What about Rampage? No, she's not going to debut on Rampage. That's a quick show. No, it's going to be on a live show. But will she be at Wendy City Riot? I don't know. I hope so.
Oh, me too. I'll be there.
Yes, absolutely. But what I was going to say is, they still have to stack the WrestleMania card because there's going to be a Collision that goes head to head with WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah.
So I definitely put her on there.
We're sleepy.
Yeah, we are sleepy. We've been screaming for a long time.
Yeah. And drinking.
Yes. But guys, I'm just so happy. Tonight couldn't have gone any better. Shout out to the crew. Shout out to the Moneymaker. Shout out to Mercedes Mone, the woman you are.
Mm-hmm.
Mercedes Mone is all elite, guys. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Sorry.
And I don't
know what I was expecting you to say, but it wasn't that.
Oh, I would like to say, I told y'all, kiss my ass. And whoever threw that paper, your mom's a hoe.
So it's really, I just want to say real quick before I know we're going to wrap up, right? Like, the most stacked roster in the history of wrestling.
Argue with your mama.
Argue with your mama. Play with your kids.
The thing is, truly, somebody said, what about the WWE Mark II product with Mercedes AEW? I'm going to be honest. At this point, if you're not an AEW fan and you call yourself a wrestling fan, I genuinely feel sorry for you. Because you are missing out on truly the greatest roster in wrestling history. Some of the best matches of all time. And if you really love wrestling, not even just from Mercedes, but if you love wrestling, this is where it's at. And so, if you don't like it, you're entitled to that. But I genuinely feel sorry for you. That's all I got.
And I'll speak on that real quick. Because again, Lyric is much nicer than me. right? Much nicer than me. I'd be in the trenches with these hoes. But I will say this, right? Like, yes to everything Lyric said. But also, right, like, I don't want to say, well, you don't know what you don't know, okay? So if you've never necessarily, like, watched AEW or, like, you know, or even, like, New Japan or stepped outside of anything, you know, in relation to WWE, I get that. And, you know, it's going to be different. But people who immediately turn the channel and, you know, see something they've never seen before and immediately decide that that means that it's bad, like, that just doesn't make any sense to me. And everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm also entitled to think that you're an idiot. Hey man. But look, if you don't like, and AEW, like, to me truly is the alternative, because there are so many different styles and so many different things going on that if you don't like to see Ospreay do flippy shit, then fine, go watch Eddie Kingston. You know, if you don't like technical wrestling, then okay, fine. You know, here's some, you know, everything. So, like, people who don't want to watch AEW, that's fine, that's cool. But people who can watch an AEW show in the content that they're producing right now and try to look me dead in the face and say top to bottom that shit was ass in comparison to Monday Night Raw, can kiss my ass. I was gonna say suck my dick, but I tried to stop saying that.
AEW stands for pro wrestling at this point. AEW is where pro wrestling lives, in the sense of there's now an active partnership with STARDOM. There's an active partnership with CFLL. There's an active partnership with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and some smaller partnerships with other promotions. Pro wrestling as a whole lives here. Lucha, strong style, Joshi, American. Pro wrestling lives here. So if you love pro wrestling in any of its forms, truly love pro wrestling, there's something for you on this AEW product.
Maybe not all of it.
Maybe not all of it. But if you can look at all of this, including all the partnerships with all the other organizations, you might not like wrestling. You might just like lights with the occasional scuffle and LED lights. And in that case, I recommend you watch Monday Night Raw and get a Zeus Network subscription. If you just want a whole bunch of talking and the occasional fight, a Zeus Network subscription will truly fulfill all your needs.
No, if that's really what you want, Real Housewives of Atlanta is a fantastic program, and it has been for years, and it's probably got just as much lore, you know. Exactly. So everybody talk about, and you know, they want stories. Yeah, Nene and Kenya are who y'all need to look up, and you can just leave us alone. Phaedra.
This ain't Phaedra.
This ain't Phaedra.
The door is closed. She is to the girls' weekend. You better watch them B words, honey.
You better watch them. You better watch them. A white refrigerator, honey. That's what y'all sound like. So if that's what you want, go live that.
The ghetto.
Yes. Bravo comes on cable too. Enjoy that.
Bravo, Zeus Network. I think that all of these things might have some things you want to be. Yes. But I want to say, AEW, real hoopers live here. If they're not, when we said earlier, we want the baddest heifers on the floor. Only the baddest heifers on the floor. In the words of Coach B from Bring It.
Bring It is another great show. If you don't, you know, You're not sure about wrestling, you're not sure if this is for you, check out Bring It. All right, Black Dance Moms.
Exactly. I think that's a great way to close. Thank you to everybody who's been rocking with me and Dani since 7:15 p.m.
Damn.
EST.
EST.
EST. As well as the post show tonight. We did a pre-show and a post show. I mean, based on the reaction we got from that pre-show today, we might have to do another one. Maybe for
damn.
or something.
Yeah.
Well, over 1,200 people showed up. We have
like why?
457 people tonight on this post-show.
Dead ass?
For real.
Hi.
They really love us. Thank you.
Thanks, Mercedes.
There's been nights where we've done these shows, and there's been like 15 folks. So,
yeah. Thanks, Mercedes.
Yes, thanks, Mercedes. Monday truly does change everything. Yes, thank you to everybody.
Come back and see us again.
Come back and see us. We're on the Dynamite book every single week after Dynamite. You can find me, as always, at Lyric Wrestling on Twitter and Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube at Lyric Wrestling. And where can we find you, Dani?
You can find me on Twitter at Dani Don't Miss, or you can follow Black Girl Wrestling, and you definitely should, because that's the new headquarters of all wrestling giggles, with no bigotry. So you can follow that on Black Girl Wrestling on Twitter and on Instagram and TikTok.
Exactly.
If you're feeling crazy.
And so, without any further ado, one more time, people.
If you want to know what a motherfucking boss looks like, bitch, you looking at one. A bitch that handles big business.
Exactly. All right. Good night, folks.